Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stop.Sit.Surrogate with Kennedy. No Ellen today because she said she has no idea what it's like to have a long journey. And that's what today's conversation is with two of my good friends. So, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I am Tara. I am a third, fourth time surrogate, and I have been on my journey since 2022.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a second time surrogate. I don't, journey two has been long. I've been on this journey since 2022 as well. So it's been a hot, it just kind of starts to blend together. So I'm just kind of like,
No.
I don't even know where I'm at now.
The only reason I know where I'm at is because TikTok and Instagram like to be like, look where you were a year ago. And I'm like, cool, I'm still there. Like, nothing has changed. Wait, so
Oh
we
my
all
gosh.
started in 2022. Do you guys remember the month?
January is like right when I had started because I had my last Zero Babe in September. So I was just starting to decrease pumping and I was looking for a match. And I found really great people to talk to, and like each one of them kind of like fell through. And that was like the whole entire thing for a while. Um,
Wow. Okay, so you're January. Rachel, what month were you?
I want to say, I think I want to say like end of 2022 because
Okay.
I was still healing from a C-section, but then I was also in the process of moving. So
Oh, I got you.
yeah. So I was
Okay.
like, let me just wait because I'm going to a whole different state too. So
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. And I'm 2022, but July 23rd, 2022. I remember the exact day. Yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask the obvious question then. Is it, did we want long journeys? Is this why it's taken so long?
No,
No,
no.
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 It's you go into it and you're just like, oh yeah, the first one, at least for me, because you guys are experienced. The
Mhm.
first one for me, I was like, hey, let's do it again. That was so smooth. Like, what could
Right.
happen? You know what I'm saying? And then you get here and you're just like, well, the timing is not accurate at all. This is
Yeah.
the worst. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and it's like no one asks for a bumpy ass journey. Sorry.
Oh,
Um,
good.
so it's just like when you hit those bumps in the road, you're kind of just like, well, hell.
Yeah.
And you don't think it's going to go on for 2+ years at that,
Right.
you know?
Hmm.
So, and you watch other people just kind of, they're having a
Low.
blast with
I
their journeys,
know.
or they're about to go on their second one and you're still on the one that you were freaking doing. And don't get me wrong, y'all. I love y'all. I love all my soror sisters and everybody, and I love them. Don't get me wrong. But
We have a little
it's
envy.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes it hits you in the gut and it's
Yeah.
just like,
Mhm.
well, damn, you know? But you
Hmm.
also learn so freaking much throughout the process. And
So
like,
much.
you know what I mean? Like, this journey has opened my eyes. The last IPs I just had
Hmm.
opened my eyes
Yeah.
about IPs
Hmm.
and certain things. And it's just like, wow, you know?
Hmm.
So,
Because I do want to say all of us have been matched. Both of you were pregnant. Like
Mhm.
this isn't like a, oh, we can't get matched. We can't do it. Like that's not it. There were so many interesting obstacles
Mhm.
that don't necessarily always happen. Um, and I mean, Tara, you've shared that on a previous podcast. You don't have to go through it again if you don't want to. But yeah, it's because you guys were, okay, so you were matched how many times though, Tara, within the past 2 years?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have been matched in early 2022. I was matched with a couple
Mhm.
and it didn't work out. And then I tried going with an agency and they were not providing me with matches that were going to fit with me. I feel like they were just like, here you go. Like they weren't
Mm.
really interested in truly finding me a match. And then I was matched with a different agency, and the match call went wonderful, but that ended up being the match that really opened my eyes to intended parents and me needing to have a really close relationship because that match, I had a miscarriage and they were
Mhm.
not there for me whatsoever. They completely stopped talking to me after everything. There was no support from intended parents or the agency. And so I knew from that moment that I deserved better.
100%. You did. And now you're out of that. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
She's out of that situation. She's not with that agency.
Yeah, I'm not with the agency.
Yeah.
Would not recommend. I won't say names, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend.
No. Yeah. And then Rachel, how many times have you been matched?
I'm going on my fourth match.
No,
Um,
really?
my first match was with some friends, and then, that kind of just,
Hmm.
fell through.
Yeah.
Then the second match is the match that I had the miscarriage with. And then, mind you, all the IPs broke match with me. Um, they broke match with me after the miscarriage. Not very communicative at all. And the clinic was kind of just like, well, you're kind of on your own, good luck, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so I had to kind of go through that all kind of by myself. The third match, they broke match because apparently I'm I have my suspicions, but anyways, they broke
Oh,
match because my kiddos have autism. And I'm like, I feel like that's a sorry excuse for
totally.
being with another agency and wanting to choose another surrogate over me. I'm like, I'd rather you had just said, hey, I only want to match with you because of your skin tone or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't bring my kids into it, like at all. So, like, if you guys want to be buttholes, then that's on y'all. Like, don't bring my kids in it just because y'all had your little side thing or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, there was more
So,
to that. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So now
Hmm.
I'm just I'm in limbo right now, just waiting.
Yeah.
I
So,
just realized I have had, okay, so I had the guys. This is my fifth match. I just realized that now. It's
In
my
two
fifth match.
years? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I had a gay couple in January 2022. I loved them. We were gonna work so well. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. And then I
Yeah.
had the miscarriage, and then I was matched with an agency, a different agency, and their clinic. And it seemed like the intended parents were just really uncomfortable. They're asking me to do a lot of
Oh,
tests and
right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't feel comfortable with that. They wanted me to do like these surgery type things. And I was like, why? Like, you haven't even looked at my uterus. Why are you requesting that type of stuff just by talking to me?
Right.
I do believe that is because I had the miscarriage and that was scary for them. And then I had another match. The intended parents were great. It was their clinic that was absolutely awful. I meet the guidelines and they were just each thing like wanted me to go jump through more hoops and then more hoops. And then finally I
Hmm.
was like, I've had enough of this. This is not normal to be asking me all these things and like pretty much telling me that my medical records were they're telling me that I was lying about my medical records and that like making up all these other things that were going on. And I was like, okay, absolutely, I've had enough of that. They're saying that my thyroid was different from what is true. And then, so I broke that match. And then I went on to find the intended parents I have now. And their clinic immediately were like, it was day and night. They have
Oh
been
my God.
wonderful. When I had my medical screening, they were like, wow, everything looks marvelous. They had said that I had one uterus of the day. So that was such a
cute.
huge difference from being told that I need all these things done without ever seeing my uterus. Like
Right.
clinics, I don't think intended parents know that clinics, they're also very different. Like if I feel like you trust your clinic so much that you assume that they just want the best for you. But there's certain like things like why are you making this person go through all of this? Like
Right.
I get there's guidelines, but then why are you adding more on top of this just to get somebody cleared?
Hmm.
Like you haven't even met me or anything. Refused to see me, wanted it was just I've never heard of that happening before. And I was like, of course that would be what's going on with me.
I know. I just the luck of the draw, right?
I was like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? And I had questioned at that time. I was like, I think that I'm done after this. And I was not going to pursue surrogacy anymore. I was like, I think this is just my sign that this needs to be done. And I was super close to being done. And then the biggest ask, I talked to them, and they have been wonderful from the very start of it all. So it
Good.
has definitely changed my perspective on surrogacy, because I was definitely
Yeah.
ready to just be like, I've done all that I've could, and
Yeah.
now you're asking a little bit too much from me.
That's
I,
that's
yeah.
the thing that comes with long journeys too. It's like,
Breaks
is
your
this my
spirit.
sign? Like, am I like supposed to be done? Like, is the higher power or whoever telling me something that I'm
Yeah.
not catching on, or what is going on?
The amount of conversations I know that I've had with both of you of like, okay, I think I'm done. Like, is this a
Hmm.
sign? Am I being paranoid? Is this like, and it's just, it breaks your spirit over time because it's just
Hmm.
like, am I going crazy? Am I looking at this weird? Like, is it me? And like, it's 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say it's not necessarily like you, the person. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, for me, I went from agency to agency because in the beginning, because they were like, oh, well, you know what? You should lower your comp. Oh, wait, you know what? We're gonna force this IP on you. I was like, no, I don't want this kind of like I know what I
Hmm.
want. And so that was frustrating. And that's why I kept jumping and jumping. And then I was matched last summer, 2023. And then a bunch went wrong there, day of contracts. And I was like, we're not gonna go forward. Thinks though. And then I parted ways and now I found my IM, but I've almost been matched with her for a year, which is crazy. So it's yeah, but it definitely breaks your spirit after a while to be like, is this not how it's supposed to be?
Hmm.
Um, I have a question for you both now because both of you kind of found your guys' perfect match after so long. Like,
Yeah.
so how did you know these IPs were it? And were you, what, did you guys have any fears about anything, especially with the past matches that you've had since matching with them?
You want to go first, Tara?
I just knew, like, during the call, she had messaged me on Instagram and just was super, super nice.
Oh,
Oh, Tara.
see, that's how you know that it's the right match. Tara's reaction right there.
Sorry. Why do I feel like I always make her like cry or something every time?
Oh,
I'd be asking them deep questions. I'm sorry, y'all.
No,
but
you're
it's
fine.
but that's the feeling you should get though when like or something similar to it like where you're like ah that's the my where the heck have you been
Right.
like and then it's like ah oh see if
Yeah,
you talk to
they're
her
just so wonderful. And yeah, I'll let you talk till I can't.
okay you're good no for me it was because it was so long and I'm working with a single intended mother and I was very upfront in the beginning, like, absolutely not. This is not happening. I'm not working with an intended mother because of my most recent experience. And I was like, no, like, I was petrified. And it took me a really long time to heal from, like, a really long time to heal from that. 2 years, over 2 years. And then my agency was like, can you just read her profile? I'm like, really? Like they called me and they were like, we have somebody, but it is a single mom. But she is so chill, laid back. She's been like, you guys have like the same similar journeys. And I was like, okay, send me her profile. I was like at the point where I was like, I will read anybody. Like, send me somebody. And when I read her profile, we had so many little details in common that I was like, I love you. Like, I love you. Okay, yes, let's talk. And then we talked, and I got off and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I met her. Like, I think that's her. And I just was like so overwhelmed. And then, yeah, and thank goodness it was her. But something about, I'd never have had that connection, even with my past matches. I've never felt like this sure of like, this is who I'm supposed to work with.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
And I feel like we put this out there. You have set like standards or whatever for yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like there comes a point when you should kind of, it depends on your, your set standards, right?
Hmm.
But I feel like sometimes you should let those go because Kennedy, if you would have just stuck with I'm never working with a single mother, single parent, whatever,
Oh my
you would
God.
not have found her, your
Yeah.
IP,
A
you know?
hundred percent.
So I feel like some standards can be like
Hmm.
let go or, thought about so you can find, that perfect match because you also don't want to
Yeah.
restrict yourself because when you
Yeah.
have so many, you know, I mean, like, yes, have high expectations, but,
Hmm.
at the same time, it could, prevent you from finding the right IP
Yeah.
for you.
The number one thing that I have learned is it does not hurt you to read a profile. It literally hurts nobody to read a profile. So if you're like like I was stuck on I am working with same-sex males, you're out of your mind. They're so laid back. They're so I'm fine. But like that's not
Mm.
true in every single case, right? But I was like, no, for sure. And so then I came to a point where I was reading heterosexual couples and I was like, okay, but you know what? You're not a fit. But like you just have to figure out like what is like if your compensation is definitely something that you're not willing to like wiggle around on, don't wiggle around on that. Like there are certain standards where you should be like, nah, like or if they need to live in the same state or the state next to you, then don't read somebody like if you're in California, don't read somebody who's in Pennsylvania. Like if that's truly something that's important. But yeah, definitely certain standards, I say you can lighten up on. Once you hit your breaking point.
Yeah, for real, I was about to say.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man, yeah,
It's crazy. I
yeah.
know.
But
Do you guys?
I looked at a couple of profiles, but I'm just like, I look at profiles differently now. I'm like, if I don't feel a connection when I look at it, I'm kind of just like, it sucks to say no, okay? Being as
Mhm.
long on the journey as long as I have, and y'all know,
I know.
saying no to a profile sucks. But at the same time, I want to find the right IPs, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
And just after my last IPs, I'm kind of just like, tread lightly, like very lightly, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because my kids are my world and they are
100%.
a part of me and who I am. So if you can't accept that,
Mhm.
then
Bye.
it ain't gonna
Yeah.
be a match, you know? So
No, that's messed. It's we all know that that wasn't the real reason.
yeah. But
But
just
it's
to
still it's
say it like
yeah, to just say that is just, and you know what? That was a blessing in disguise, as awful as that is. It's a blessing in disguise to not have worked with them because if they're going to be that petty, like what are they going to be the rest of the journey? And that's how I always, that's what I've been looking at it every single time. I'm like, okay, wait, this happened for a reason. What's the reason? It's this is the reason. I find
Mhm.
out 6 months later, but here it is. Like,
yeah.
and it's, but yeah, and I know that you'll find somebody that's gonna treat you and your family like the way that you guys deserve because, oh my gosh, it's been quite a journey. I know. I know.
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah.
guys want to talk about the emotional roller coaster of a long journey though?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Well, like just like blurt out like what are some emotions that you guys have felt?
Oh my
Sad.
gosh, frustrated. I'm just because as I know surrogacy can go up to like 42 years old. I'm not interested in being older when I'm pregnant. I already tell a difference like now. Um, I'm just ready to have because when you are within the surrogacy process, you can't do so many things. You can't leave the country. You can't get
Mhm.
tattoos. You can't get piercings. You can't do so many things that you want with your own body. And it's just like you're on a standstill of waiting for all of it.
Yeah.
I've been
Like,
itching for a tattoo too. Okay, here's what irritates the crap out of me. It's like now they don't care as long as you have a letter saying it's from a sanitized, they just don't want you to have it in somebody's house or something like that.
yeah, yeah, that was that
Oh,
last one. They had asked if it was just professionals. Like, yeah,
people don't get professional tattoos?
No. No, they don't go.
I would be so
What
afraid.
one?
My parents were mortified of tattoos, and like I got secret tattoos after my first one, and then like
Mm.
I like they're like you're gonna kicked out, and I'm like okay, sure, where am I gonna go? And then my grandma called because I got tattoos of my grandma. They're they're in remembrance of my grandma, and my grandma's calling, and she's like, Ellen, if you kick that child out, I swear to God, I'm like, you go, Grams, you tell her. But yeah. Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
gosh.
that's crazy. I didn't know that you just needed like a letter now. That's
Yeah.
nice to know.
So many things, so many clinics are changing, and it's just crazy. Like a lot of clinics now are saying if you have a child with autism that they have to do, you have to give some tests or something like that. But I'm like, first of all, that is my child. My child has nothing to do with this.
But right,
And yeah, it's
because
just crazy.
am I like stupid to think that like it ought okay, because like one because we just talked to an embryologist, but okay, because I asked her, I was like, is there testing that you can do on these like embryos for like autism? She's like, not yet. And I was like, okay. But basically my understanding from that conversation alone was if a child is born with autism, it's coming because of the genetic makeup. It's not coming because of your uterus or anything that's being passed
Right.
from you to baby.
And apparently there's tests going that say that it's environmental. So I'm just like,
Oh, it's so weird.
it's just it's just a whole lot. And then a lot of
Environmental.
people say, oh, it's DNA. But then my friend, she has a son that has autism. Her and her husband got tested for autism and they don't have autism. So
Interesting.
it's like it's weird. I'm like, I don't even know how you test for that. Like, how do you test
Yeah,
for it if you can't test for it?
right,
So
exactly. How are you supposed to know where, like, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. And then I'm just like, I want to get this journey started because they're talking about lowering the BMI to 32. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
just
I'm like 29 or something like that. But still,
yeah, right. Next it'll be like right there and it's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, they're becoming stricter, which is I think more irritating and like what I've been with this will be my third clinic that I'm with on this journey alone.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, all right, y'all have different protocols. I'm like kind of like, okay, this is I don't want to say too much crap. Oh my gosh, what else is about a long journey? I mean, there's so many
Oh
things
yeah,
about
we were talking about
journey.
feelings and then we got on a tangent about tattoos.
Yeah, we were
Sorry.
all like, we're frustrated. Here's our anger. No, what else is there? I know there's definite sadness. I think that's what you said.
Sadness for
Yeah.
sure. And kind of, I want to say kind of envy, because I'm
Yeah.
just like, there's people that I've started with.
Mhm.
There are people that I was pregnant with, and I'm
Mhm.
watching them about to like give
Oh,
birth or, close to the end. And I know Leslie has been on a long journey as well. And just watching her, like we've been, talking and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, it's crazy. And it's like, I would have been like almost done or like close to
right.
the end because I would have been giving birth around Thanksgiving. So it's
Oh,
just like, especially when you have like a miscarriage, you know what I mean? And it's just like, wow, it's like you think about where you'd be at and, what you'd be doing and planning for and all of that stuff. So it kind of it hits you. I mean, there's days where it's kind of just like, ooh, I'm not even like, thinking about it, It's like I've been on this journey so long, I forget I'm on a journey sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I'm just like so
yeah.
it's just like, but then some days you're kind of like, oh crap, well, I could be here right now, or I could be thinking about my third journey, I don't know.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just like, and it's like you don't want to envy, you know what I mean? And it's just like,
We're
but at the same
human.
time, yeah, it sneaks in because they're just like, dang, they was just like, how are they already at transfer? Didn't they just start their journey? And I'm over here like,
Yeah.
2 years in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I also see like a lot of people going on another journey and
Yeah.
they're having issues, and I'm just like, what in the
Oh,
world is going on? I don't
Oh,
know if
I
it's
thought you were
like,
going to say something
right.
else.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be like, there are people that I started this journey with, and now they just had their baby, and now they're going on another one.
Right.
That's it too, though.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait,
I
hold the
am
hell
not
up.
crapping on anybody's parade. I'm
No.
literally genuinely happy for everybody. I know we all are, but it definitely like is like, man,
And
how? Like, why do you get two journeys and I don't even get one?
Hmm.
I'd be like saying this to me, I'd be like, I swear to the heavens above, if you get pregnant before I do, I might flip my freaking lid just a little bit, just a little bit. Because I'm like, oh yay, congratulations. I've been watching your journey. Oh, you got pregnant and you're about to go on another journey in the time frame that I've been on this one. So
Yeah, just the one, right?
yeah, and just the one. And I'm just like, don't get me wrong. So anybody hearing this, if I ever say if you get pregnant before me, I'm gonna flip my lid. Nothing against you.
No, no, yeah.
It's just
But you're right. But you guys bring something else to the table, like than what I do, and that is the fact that like Tara, your baby would have been born, right?
Yep, would have been born right on by my birthday. And I had thought at the time because he was due on February 11th. My birthday's the 8th. And because I have C-sections, I was going to ask the dad if we could do it around my birthday, if not on my birthday, just to share something special. And so when that day came and went, it was kind of sad.
Yeah.
And now we're coming up on a year now that since the miscarriage has happened. And it, it feels like I can finally like close the chapter
Yeah.
now that it's been a year. Like so much weight has lifted. That day felt really sad, but now I just feel like it's like I can feel like it's over finally. Like
I get
it's
that.
sad it happened, but now I just have so many other things to look forward to and not think about like that year mark that has happened. And I'm just looking forward to this wonderful journey that I'm on with my intended parents.
Oh,
I yeah, I feel like that's gonna help a lot making new memories and sharing those milestones,
Mhm.
yeah.
like, and when I saw you sharing myself, I was like, I was getting choked up. I was like, I ain't even on the damn journey myself. But it's like when you see a soror sister like in
Go
the
through.
trenches with you and
Yeah.
then finally like find the perfect match, it's just like it just warms your soul and you're just like, yes, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I mean? And even with Kennedy, when she was like, I'm mad, I was like, about time, god dang it,
Oh,
So I'm just like, and I'm rooting for both of you, like, and I know there's like so many rooting for me, and it's just
yeah.
like I'm kind of glad I'm on this journey so I can share it so people know that it's not cupcakes and rainbows. It's not,
No.
yes, some may have a smooth journey, great for them,
Yeah.
and you're not promised, you know,
No.
the best journey, you know what I mean? And it's not going to be easy. If you get a walk in the park journey, like I did my first journey, so I was thinking, hey, this one gonna be pretty good. Not the
Right.
case. Do not compare. Do not compare to yourself in your
You
own
can't.
journeys and don't compare to other people's
Mhm.
journeys because
Same.
everyone is different. Everyone is not the same, you know? So
Yeah,
it's just
I
crazy.
feel like that's a little bit as to why I stopped sharing like in real time of anything because I'm a little bit sensitive, clearly. I'm sitting here crying every so often, but just I would have some people who, I mean, I'm sure they meant well, but I took it as being a little bit mean
Sure.
that they would tell me like, "Hey, are you sure that you want to continue on this? Like, it seems like it's really hard." And so I was just like, I'm just gonna stop sharing anything. Like, you guys can know it's after the baby's born because I'm sensitive and their words hurt. Like of course, they had such wonderful journeys. It went quick. They were matched. They successful transfer. Baby was born happy, healthy, and they have great relationships with their intended parents. And then meanwhile, I felt like my last journey was absolutely awful. And then people are like, maybe you should just be done. I was like, okay, thanks.
I'll let you know when I'm done. Thank you.
Right? I have
Wow.
not got that comment yet, thank
Me
goodness.
either.
I've gotten, you have been so resilient and pushing, but I think it's because I'm sharing everything, maybe.
You
I don't know.
Mhm.
are.
And I'm just like, thank you. But at the same time, like, I have my good days and I have, my holy crap days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's crazy to think. But also, Tara, I don't think you're not like emotional. I feel like, you know what I feel like it
No,
is? It's all of this, all of the freaking the whole 2 years, you know
it's a
what I mean?
lot.
It's finally like coming out. Like, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, I'm not a crier. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I don't cry. The only time I ever cry is if I see like, things to do with autism or special needs. You know what I mean? Like that
Mhm.
stuff begins me and it makes me cry. And I feel like me crying is like all my emotions and energy built up. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean? Because I'm like, I hold it in. I know that ain't best thing though, but I be holding in my tears sometimes. So I feel like, Tara, that's what it is for you. You're just kind of like, I'm finally at a point where I can go through a journey and this journey is going to be amazing. And I found the perfect match. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's what I feel. I mean, I could be wrong,
No,
but
I agree.
Yeah. And you have all these, I mean, it's been, like we said, it's been a long, long journey. Like I have never cried on a journey, even with my hellhole of a journey. I have never cried on a journey until this transfer didn't take. And I was like, and like, it just, I think it has to do with the amount of time, the amount of our lives that we give up, the amount of energy we give to it, like what we put, not that we put, when I say what we put our family through, it's
Mhm.
not like I've put my family through negativity. It's just like my husband's the one who gave me all my shots. Like I had to teach him how to like teach me to like to give me a shot. Like I just, and and when we all have kids, so like it takes time away from them because meds make you crazy
Mhm.
and sleepy and all this kind of stuff. So it's surrogacy is not a joke. And I will say my first two, super easy. I was like, woohoo, walk in. I'm matched. I'm pregnant. Let's go. Woohoo, baby's born. Like that was so easy. I was like, let's keep going. Then my third one was interesting because there was drama. But
It's that third one, I swear.
seriously, so just stop at two.
For
I'm just kidding.
real.
Or somehow skip the third.
Right. Like I'm actually on my fourth. We're not, well, I even said like for pregnancy wise, I'm not gonna be 16 weeks. I will go 15 or even 14, and then I'm just gonna be 17 weeks. Like I'm skipping 15 and 16, and
There you
that's
go. Yeah,
that's
you
what I'm
don't need
doing.
it. You don't need it in your life. It's all good.
Yeah, we're
for
jumping.
real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just yeah, it's a lot, but it's all worth it in the end. That's why I honestly that's why the three of us, I mean, I'm speaking for the both of you, but I'm sure you agree. That's why we've stayed as long as we
Yeah,
have
I'm
because
so
it's
happy. Like, I will
Hmm.
never, I'm not happy as to what have been through, what has happened,
for
but
sure.
I am so grateful for my intended parents. Like, I cannot even believe that they're mine. I talk to my intended mom every single day, numerous times a day. We're becoming such wonderful friends. And I've never had that before. I just sent her a picture of dog toys, and like I thought of her and immediately wanted to show her. I just love talking to her so much. Like I've never had that before where I can just have open communication. It's always been just talk around appointments. How's baby doing? When's the next appointment? That's always been it. And this is like totally different. We are sharing recipes, talking about books, and she got me into Pilates, and I just love her so much.
I love that. No,
Yeah.
that's I think that's a relationship that a lot of people look for or don't know
Mhm.
that they're looking for and sometimes stumble across and then they're like, this is how surrogacy is. And it's like, no, this is how surrogacy should be, like
Right.
all the
Hmm.
time
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
we've all had a story where surrogacy ain't like that.
Right. And I've
Hmm.
heard so
Yeah.
many people talking about that. And I was like, wow, what is that like?
Yeah.
Because I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
that's what I'm like. And what keeps me going too is my first journey. The dad sent me pictures of them and the twins, and I'm just like, I can't believe I did that, and I'm was able to share, have them make memories. Like they sent me pictures of them at the Olympics because they was in France, so they got to go to that, and I'm
That's
just like,
awesome.
they're getting so big, and I'm just like, it's still crazy to think like I had a part in that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just that's what keeps me going. And it's just like I want to help. You know what I mean? So when people say, "Oh, you just do it for the money," first of all, if I did it for the money, I'd be broke as hell,
Can
broke,
we
broke,
talk?
broke.
Can we talk about that little comment that people like to make? Because
I don't even tell people I'm a surrogate because of that reason. Like, I
it's
know some people love doing, like, saying, oh yeah, I'm a surrogate. I'm not carrying, like, I'm not, this isn't mine. They love to, I don't do that. I'm sorry, but I just won't. Like, if my intended mom is with me and I'm pregnant and she's okay with me saying that, I will. Like, her and I will have that conversation. But I just will never be the one to be like, oh yeah, I'm caring for a friend. Because immediately the question has always been, oh, how much do you make doing that? It's never like, oh, that's so wonderful. Like, how did you get it? Like, nothing like that. It has always been right to them. Like,
Or they try to slide it in there and be like, "Oh, that's awesome. How much do you get paid?"
yeah, my doctor straight up asked me that. She was like, "Oh
my
my God."
OB had said something, but he was like, wow, it must be really good money. I was like, you don't say
I'd be
that
like,
to
"No,
me.
no. I'm making less than minimum wage, helpful. This is a 24/7 job.
For
Who works
real,
24/7?"
surrogates. But at the same time, we have all been on this journey. And for I want to say for maybe 80, 90% of it, I mean, I can tell you right now for like 85, close to 90% of it, I have not been compensated for like I'm on a holding fee currently, because of what happened. But like when you're matched for a long time, like it's just
Mhm.
when you're on a journey for so long, you're not constant like I have not been compensated for 2 full years. Like that is not a thing.
Yeah.
So I have been working really hard at it. And I think all of us
Mhm.
have like at the sense of, no, I want to be on a journey. I want to be with someone. And it has to be more than money. It has to, or you're in
Mhm.
it for way wrong reasons. Because if
Yeah.
I was just in this for the money, there's no way I would stay this long. I'd be like, nope, I'll get a second job. Out of your mind.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, I don't. And when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to have a relationship," I'm like, you say that now.
Right.
I've heard of girls who have said, well, I'm not really interested in the relationship. And I have seen when they get what they had asked for and they're sad about it. I'm like, yeah, you did want a little bit more than just. Because I've had talked to people who say that they are completely in it for the money. You do whatever you want to do. You're
For
still
sure.
giving some people, helping people get a baby and stuff like that. Do whatever you want to do. But I then had realized like she did want more. Then it was just more than as to what she had said it was all along.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I was like, you do want to have a relationship. Like it's not great when it doesn't go. Like I'm still sad that I will never talk to my old intended parents. Not that they have um I'm never gonna give them access to me. It's just sad that we're never going to be in each other's lives ever again after something sad had happened.
Yeah.
But just
Hmm.
you don't go into and be like, yeah, this is totally just
Yeah.
separated type
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like if I did not get a picture of the twins, like, and I don't even like they don't have to send me pictures, but we still
Mhm.
talk, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm just like, I would be sad. Like I wouldn't get to see like what they look like, what they're growing into.
Mhm.
Like it would just crush me. Like I don't know. That's why I'm like, sorry, my daughter's playing with a balloon.
You're
I
good.
don't like, I'm just like, I don't understand how people could say that because I'm like, you're building a relationship with somebody else.
Mhm.
Like you have to build that relationship with a complete stranger, you know what I mean? And in such a short amount of time, and they're putting all of that trust into you and to not want to have that, like, okay, yes, I get it. Some IPs, they're just, nope, not happening. You know what I mean? And that's understandable. I get it. But I cannot. That's why I try to find the right IPs for sure.
It
So,
just it's so intimate to be in a surrogacy journey together and just I don't know, it just feels weird to me and not to want to have something afterwards. Like I told my intended parents, like I don't expect you to talk to me all the time. You're going to be busy with your baby,
Yeah.
and I can completely understand that. Just every so often, if you want to send me a picture, that would be great. I assume that we're building such a great relationship now that that's only going to continue, and I hope so. But I'm not going to be like super mad if all of a sudden we don't talk as often,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
my previous intended mom, she had baby's birthday was yesterday, and she had sent me a picture and a video of her blowing out her candles and just thanked me and all that. And I just think that's so beautiful. We're not
Oh,
like, we don't talk all the time, but just every so often, always like holidays and birthdays, she always thanks me, and I love that.
Very sweet.
oh.
That's how my that's how my second couple is. So my first couple, they went on to have, they asked me to have their second child, but I was
Mhm.
unfortunately pregnant with my third journey. So that was a bummer. Um, but like the only way that I actually talk to them and see them is on WeChat. And like,
Mhm.
I only go on it maybe like once every 8 months. Like I'm not very, we don't talk that much, but I can see pictures whenever I want. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. And then my second couple, we just talked a bunch because they had this whole thing in Australia that like I had to be a part of, which was so weird. But they'll send me pictures on her birthday and like she's so
Mhm.
cute. And I'm like, aw, hi, you grew in me. Like you're so cute. Like it's so cute. And like I have no attachment to that child. I'm like, oh my
Right.
gosh, look, you're so cute and you're so big. Oh my gosh. And like, bye. Like,
Right.
I don't know
Yep.
what you want. Like, yeah, like it's just funny. And then obviously my third couple, I have no idea what's up with that child. So,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, like I do I think when people say like, oh, I don't want a relationship or I'm not looking for a relationship, like the best thing to like say back is like, well, then at least have like a friendly relationship. Like
Mhm.
you don't have to be best friends. If you don't want to talk all the time, you don't want to talk all the time. But like friendliness is the most important thing with surrogates and intended parents because with friendliness comes respect. And that is what your whole journey is based off of. And then if it grows from there, it grows from there. But if you're cut dry at the beginning of it, oh God, I've been that. Please don't do that to yourself. Like it's just it because you get to the end and you're like, wait, I kind of did that journey by myself. Like
Mhm.
I think that that's what surrogates don't first time surrogates don't know about is like, oh, wait, if we don't have a relationship, I'm basically doing this by myself. Like, there's no fun milestones to share. There's like,
Mhm.
oh, like, do you want to come to the doctor's appointment? Like, there's like not that little nuggets of like happiness in a
Right.
sense, you know? Yeah.
Right.
Just words of advice. You don't have to take it.
Yeah, but you should,
Yeah.
because we've seen between the three of us, we've seen a lot of journeys. We have
Mhm.
seen a lot. We have seen some good ones. We've even seen not so good ones. So we're not just, wasting our breath saying all this stuff. We're like,
Yeah. These are
we
things I
saying it
wish,
for a purpose.
yeah, these are things I wish people had said to me. Like, it would have been nice. And like, yeah, I had my mom and like, but 22 years prior,
Mhm.
very different relationships were formed that like, and social media was not a thing. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's different, but
But
yeah.
also the good journeys help. I feel like the good journeys have helped us stay on the journeys that we are for
Oh
so
yeah.
long because it's like we need to find that
Again.
and
Yeah.
again, especially for you two because y'all's landing on me. But we want to find that again and we want to help. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
just like our journeys as surrogates aren't over, I feel like. I'm like, we're going through this
Mhm.
to learn something. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all of us have learned something.
Yes.
And we're like, okay, we're in this. You know what I mean? So, what have you two learned?
Oh God, name it. Oh my God. I have learned
Sorry.
so much. It's crazy. It's annoying how much I've learned. And I'm annoyed because I feel like at times I know too much and I don't want to know too much.
Mhm.
Like I'm thankful for everyone's stories, but when we talk to everybody, now I'm like, ah, crap, that's gonna happen to me. Watch that happen to me. Oh gosh, now I know about this. Oh God. So like paranoia sets in for me. But that's because I talk to so many people and I'm just like,
Right.
ah. But like the chances of that happening, I've never heard the same story twice. So I realistically know that the chances of all that
You're like,
happening,
I'm good. I heard it once. That's
yeah, like right. But at the same time, it's I've learned so much in the sense of transfers don't always take on the first try. I know that is the most naive thing for me to say.
I never knew that until my second journey. I was literally so clueless. I thought that as a
Really?
surrogate, that it was meant to be. Like I thought the doctor cleared me, so it means it's gonna work.
Right.
And
hmm
I want to be back in that bubble again because it was a beautiful place to be. And it worked the first time. And I was like, yeah, of course it's going to work. Like the
Yeah.
doctor said it was going to work. So of course it was going to. I
Right.
never knew anything about chemical. And that's exactly what happened with my second. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, what is that? Like, what do you mean it's a chemical? Like, I have no idea. And I was going crazy taking tests. I became a person that nobody knew. My husband was like, whoa, hey. And I was like, I took like 10 tests a day. It was ridiculous
Oh,
because
wow.
I had no idea why is the line not getting darker? Like,
Right.
I was very confused. And so I've definitely learned I will never be peeing on this pregnancy test ever again. That's for sure. I will not do that
And
to
it's like you
myself or my
see it
family.
though. Yeah. And it's like you see it, like you see other people have failed transfers,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you're like,
Never gonna happen.
until it
Mhm.
happens to you, like
Mhm.
I didn't know that there's a certain that embryos don't thaw right. Like my first transfer, they
Right.
unthawed three. And but you still have that hope that it's gonna work.
That
And
happened with my
obviously it
second
didn't.
as well. I didn't know that the unthawed incorrect. I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Right? I was like, wait, what you mean you
And it
thawed
didn't look right.
three?
I was like, what? Yeah, during that day, they had lost four embryos with unthawed. I was like, what are you talking about? Why is that happening? Like, what
Oh
are
my
you doing
gosh.
in there? I
Yeah.
was so confused.
Um,
It,
but also it's just like I've learned about mosaics as well,
Hmm.
yep.
you know?
Hmm.
So
The
and then
mosaic that could, isn't that what she says?
huh?
Isn't that what she has called? She called it the mosaic that could.
Yeah, Leslie, yeah. And
Mhm.
she has opened my eyes to the fact that don't be as don't be scared of mosaics because
Mhm.
they do have the ability to correct themselves. You know what I mean? Just because you can I transferred a healthy embryo and still had a miscarriage.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So watching Leslie kind of go through, yes, her IPs are making her do like hella tests, and I understand that. I get that because it was a mosaic. I get
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
you know. But at the same time, look how far she's come, look how far she's gotten.
Right.
And I added myself to a mosaic group on Facebook and I've learned so much, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
I've
kind of
heard a
just like,
saying of even ugly embryos make beautiful babies. So I
Yeah.
always think of that as well.
It's
mm-hmm,
I think it's just flip a coin. Like
Mhm.
it's so we like as much as science has that's the crazy thing. As much as science has come, like as far as science has come, it's still a gamble. 'Cause like
right.
you could have a beautiful rated embryo
Mhm.
could be perfect on all accounts and doesn't take. But then you could have an embryo that's high mosaic and what it took like
Takes
yeah,
pregnancy's beautiful, going all the way to the end.
yeah,
Like,
crazy, just crazy. So I think I've learned that surrogacy is unpredictable and to just roll with the punches.
hmm
Like it's
I learn people lie.
yeah.
People lie and people are human. And don't rush the process. Like, take your
Mhm.
time with it, you know? So, and just breathe. I'll be
Hmm.
forgetting to breathe, y'all. I'll be forgetting to breathe.
I
You got
feel
to breathe through this journey for sure
yeah.
because it will, and it does take a toll on you, but you have to I find ways to cope. I do my diamond art or whatever, or do my little crafting, or I started working out. So now I'm doing that. You know what I mean? I got to close my rings every day. I'm keeping my mind focused on other things,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know? So, well, I mean, until I'm like into the thick of it again and
Yeah.
matched and whatever. So, but yeah, it's it's sad to say that people lie, but
They do.
they do. And so I wish agencies and, all all the match pages and groups and all of that just worked more together because
The
because
doggy dog world.
yes. And at the same time, I'm kind of just like, if they did, certain things like this wouldn't happen, or if IPs were more like, I know with surrogates, like when you're with an agency, like you're stuck with that agency unless opt out or whatever, you know what I mean? And I wish um IPs had that same
Oh, option.
kind of guideline option, what have you, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah. It's yeah. There's
it sucks to think about. I try not to think about them. And I
it
wish I could be
does.
petty and like just blast them everywhere.
Yeah. It's
But, I gotta just be the bigger person, I guess. Ooh.
it's hard.
Uh,
It is hard, I'll give you that. But
yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, journeys are journeys, but yeah, these are long and these are not common. I want to put that out there. These aren't common to have them this long. At least
Oh yeah.
I don't think they're that common.
No,
For
at least
surrogates, no. I feel like for
For IPs,
IPs,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
sad. I
which
was
is
thinking
so
about.
sad.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like that they could just
Hmm.
be on this for years and not be shown surrogates or I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's a bunch of reasons, but yeah.
Or they
If
have
clinics
very
would just follow the guidelines and not make up their own, making it so complex, so then people who want to help surrogate be a surrogate, that they could do so. Um,
for real. Tell me why
Imagine.
I saw this one clinic and tell me why they're like, oh, you gotta be like 5'7" or something like that, or 5'6". Yeah, as a
What?
requirement. Girl, I kid you not.
The average woman is what, like 5'3"? Like is what?
I'm like 5'4". I'm so short.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was like, how, how? Anyways.
Maybe because they're like more, see, but that's the thing. Like it's absurd things like that. Like, oh, there's more room for the baby to grow. How do you know? Maybe I have a short torso. Like my sister is only as tall as she is because her torso is crazy long. Like that,
Mhm.
otherwise she'd be my height. Like it's just people are built different. Like I get the BMI thing. I don't know if about the 32 thing, but like I get having a certain BMI to be a surrogate. But right, with all the clinics choosing different.
But sometimes surrogates are a higher BMI because they have more muscle. So I'm like, y'all don't take that into consideration either, because muscle
Right.
weighs more than fat.
That's true.
So I'm just like, I don't, the BMI thing. I don't know. I just feel like if they go down this rabbit hole, it is going to make the wait that much harder and that much longer to
Yeah.
find
Oh yeah.
surrogates.
hmm Yeah, it's like
So,
they're trying to like find the gem, like the gem of the gem, and it's like
Mhm.
I don't those don't exist. Like sorry, but like everybody is gonna be off on something. Like it's just like
right,
you're not gonna find somebody that is 100 out
Like
of 100.
we're human,
Yeah.
and why don't you realize that we're not going to be perfect in every single aspect. Are there certain things that you'd like it to be at? Wonderful, let's do that. But you do not need to be adding numerous things on, making it harder for intended parents to find a surrogate. Like you can't tell me
right,
that an intended parent has had three perfectly good candidates, and then you're denying all of them for what? Like
Right.
those reasons that another clinic wouldn't even be on the radar.
yeah,
They're making it way harder. The intended parents are paying how much each time for their medical clearance. I'm like, who
yeah.
are you just in this to make more money? Like,
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to help these intended parents
Right.
bring
I
the
will
baby
say
into society.
that's another thing I learned as being a surrogate is like which clinics I can tell by like talking to somebody at a
Mhm,
clinic if I don't want to say like agree with you, but like kind of like if this is gonna work or like
mhm,
is this not like because then again they all have different protocols and I'm like I'm superstitious and I'm like, I was with HRC the majority of my journeys and it was perfect. So can we just go back to that? And they're like,
Mhm.
no. And I'm like, huh, why? Like, just do what is my body is used to.
That my clinic is literally doing that. They're like, "What protocol did you use
Oh,
before?"
I
I
love
told,
that.
and they're like, "Let's do that. It worked. Let's do it." And I was like, "Awesome."
But
Besides, like that one clinic that I use, literally use every medicine under the sun, so many different things. Which I know each clinic has their own protocol, but if you let's
Their
just stick to
magic
what work.
potion.
it's crazy. Yeah, like with and then with the oh, help me with the name of it. It's like I want to say it's a trajectory shot. That is so not the word. Um,
Trigger shot.
thank you. I knew it started with a T. I had one for the first time, had no idea. And Tara's like, I think that was a trigger shot. And I was like, what? No. Like, what does that mean? Because my lines were so dark. No one
Mhm.
freaking told me what it was. And I was
Right.
like, woohoo, like, wow, this worked. And then it like didn't work. And I was
Mhm.
like, but I had it right after my transfer. And when I looked up trigger shots, people would have them days before. So I'm like,
Right.
why did I have mine immediately after transfer? Like immediately after the transfer. And I was like,
Why did they
Because
say to take that
it,
though? Usually a trigger shot is
they didn't give
for
it to me. Like they like literally did it at like I went into the room, had a transfer, came out of the room, was in my little recovery room for like a little bit, and they're like, "Here's your trigger shot." Like they didn't
I've
call
been
it
like,
that.
first of all, Heifer, what the hell is that? And what you think you gonna stab me with
Yeah,
that? I don't think
they like
so.
stabbed me in my stomach. And then the other thing that was weird is I had to do a blood thinner shot in my stomach, and I was like,
love knocks.
"Sure." I,
Hmm.
yeah, and I was on day two, and I literally texted them, I'm not doing this. I have never done this. And my stomach is like black and
Yep.
blue. I'm not
Hmm.
doing it. And they're like, okay, yeah, you've never had to do it before. And I'm like, so why would we add more to my system?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Because a trigger shot is usually, I mean, I don't know if there's different type of trigger shots, but what I've seen is trigger shot is for egg retrieval.
but I also know, oh gosh, why am I forgetting her name? Somebody did,
Ashley.
no, Jade.
Oh, she did one too.
She did one too.
Okay.
She did one, it was like 6 days or something before her transfer, something like that. And I was
Yeah,
What
like,
is
you
it
usually like
for?
test it out after. Like you'll see
yeah,
that the trigger shot is like super positive, and then you test it out, and then it fades, and then it comes back, and that's actual pregnancy. I don't know why they do trigger shots. I just know some clinics do, but I've never had
it's
it heard of it being the same exact day as embryo transfer.
I've seen, I've never heard that either, but the reason they do trigger shots is because of like the it has like the HCG or whatever
Mhm.
something with it, and so like it's supposed to help give like that extra boost of attachment.
Well,
Okay.
I guess it didn't.
Well, day of, I'm like, that's a lot to ask this little embryo.
That's
Mhm.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. I'm like, I'm confused. I don't know.
Yeah. But that's my like that's where I think as a surrogate, that's where my frustration comes from. We totally transferred, but anyways, that's where my frustration comes from as a surrogate. It's like, can all y'all clinics kind of just like pick a regimen and like let's
Mhm.
just stick with it, or let's have flexibility if we've been surrogates before. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you'd think they would have flexibility since every body is different. So not everybody, like, because I was like, I'm on 2 ml. I was on 2 mls of progesterone and oil. And I'm like,
That's a lot.
I've seen others only on one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
huh? What the heck?
Yeah, that's a lot.
So,
Alright.
mm,
Mm,
ew.
yeah.
No, I got my,
Well, thank you, ladies. I don't mean, I don't know. Do you guys have any words of advice for those who are on long journeys or starting their journeys?
Make sure you have support from either the community, because there's a select few. Sorry, my cat would like me to look at her. Just having support within the community, because it feels isolating to just be all on your own. And make sure that if you are with an agency that they're supportive, that they're not just making you wait and not communicating to you. Because I've had that where there's no communication and they just like check up every few weeks, like, hey, how you doing? Still haven't sent a match or anything. That's when you know they need to find a new clinic, a new agency.
Yeah, I agree.
don't feel like a burden too if you're with an agency as well. Ooh, as Tara was saying,
Hmm.
because I don't know, when you're on like a long journey, Like you start to get in your head like, oh, am I just like a burden to y'all and y'all can't find me nobody, or
Mhm.
what's the case, or you know what I mean? Like I don't have strict, you know, opinions. I'm pretty much open. So I'm like, don't try not to get in your head. I know that's hard. I know that's hard. Trust
It
me.
is.
I know it is. But um don't and also don't rush anything. Take your time with it. If something don't feel right, go with your gut. Right?
Yes,
Go with your gut.
always, 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 always. Even whatever step that you're at and it still doesn't feel right, make sure that you speak up because it's important.
Yeah. It
Because
is.
you will regret it later. There's so many
Hmm.
times that I was like, if I would have listened
Oh,
to
dude.
how I was feeling,
Yeah.
I would have not went through what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup. If I had just listened to myself, I wouldn't have had that third journey, but oh well. Oh
It's like
well.
you're like in the moment too, you know what I mean? So it's just like things are gonna things take time also if you're a first time surrogate. Things take time, records take
Yeah.
time, like,
Mhm.
you know, and if you are a surrogate that needs that little extra communication on the, you know, every other day or what have you, like speak up and say that. You know what I mean? Because some intake coordinators not may not be, you know, as
Understand.
talkative. I know some intake coordinators that are amazing
Mhm.
and check up, message their surrogate every day, even if it's just like a hey, how you doing? You
Hmm.
know, I ain't got an update for you, but just wanted to check in with you. You know what I mean? So if that's the kind of communication that you need, the agency know or let the whoever you're working with know, or if you're on an independent journey, let your IPs know, you know?
Yeah.
So, because communication is another foundation of the journey.
Yeah, there's just go with your gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do another one of these and be like, where are we where are we at?
We'll be pregnant then.
In 2 years, we'll be talking again. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Kidding,
Oh my
kidding.
gosh.
No, but it
Yes.
also, if you are in your head or like if you are afraid to speak up, like reach out to somebody in the community. I know the three of us would for sure message you
Mhm.
back and like, give any advice that we can because it's scary. And don't get me wrong, we all bounce things off of each other too. So,
For
you're
real. For
you're
real.
not alone. It's
Our DMs are open and not for
yes.
the weirdos.
Yeah, say that louder.
Not for the weirdos and the sugar daddies.
Oh my God. Oh, that's a topic for a different day, but yeah, that's hilarious.
I only say that because I have some in my
I
TikTok
know
DMs
you
over
do.
there, and I'm like, bruh. But hey, hey, I almost told my husband, I'm like, I'm about to start selling my feet. Put my
I
feet on there.
wish. I would get
Like,
pedicures.
and that's another topic, anyways. Let me not go on a tangent. But
I wish you guys the best of luck in your journeys. I know I'll see you guys and talk to you, but yeah.
I know. I'm just like, I'll let you guys know
Yeah. No, it's
what's
something's
up.
gonna happen for you soon, Rachel. I know it. It's been too
Yeah,
long. Something's coming.
yeah. Mm, hopefully. But yeah, you guys know.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming and sharing your stories with us. If anybody has any questions or stories that they would like to share, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Stop.Sit.Surrogate. And this has been another episode of Stop Sit Surrogate. Bye, guys. We missed you, Ellen.